we're building up a new canoe called the Muckabout, and it's multi-chine, so the floor's even got some chine in it, and it's got bulkheads for buoyancy at each end. So this is a building frame. It's only in here while we build, and then you pull it out, so it opens the canoe up a lot more than most of the others. So the bulkheads, we're going to actually drill a hole in them, so you'll be able to fill it with foam or put a bung in it, whatever is your choice. And away we go. And we've got some nose caps to go in there too. Nice little scarf, hand cart, glued together with Purbond. Notice I've got a piece of plastic down the middle, so the two pieces of timber won't stick together, and it also helps align them. What it does, it aligns them in the horizontal plane, and all I had to do then with the joints was line them up on the vertical plane, and they've lined up pretty well. They've done alright. So it's fairly easy to achieve scarves if you do it properly and don't be dodgy. And they were hand cut with a Japanese pull saw. Fairly easy. There'll be a bit of gap in there, but I'm not too worried. As long as at least 50% of the timber's locked on, should be right. We're gluing our gunnel on, and splice joint wasn't the best, so it cracked. Bit of e-glue, she'll come back together. I've using a rope up to the other end to hold it while I work. That way I can work on my own and don't have to have people annoying me. We're using epoxy glue to glue the gunnels on our canoe. So what you do, you use two sticks. Don't use the same stick you use in your hardener as the same in the resin. You use a separate stick for your resin, separate stick for your hardener. So I'll put the hardener and resin here. Got about the same ratio there, so I'm happy. I'm going to mix it in, and when it's a consistent colour, we'll then go. So what we've done, we've glued our first gunnel on. Used heaps of screws. Don't be frightened to use some screws. They come up looking pretty good. Alright, and we're into our second side. I haven't cleaned this one off yet. I'll wipe over with some acetone and a rag once we get it all on. You can use metho if that's what's handy. So we're glued right up to here. I've got enough glue to do me here, and I think I've got way too much glue. But anyway, we'll whack it on and away we go. So what we do, just get a bit on the stick. You'll see how far it'll go. I've mixed up way too much glue. Anyway, that's life. So just put it on and then spread it out. Scrape off. Scrape the excess off. Then just go along, I go along the top edge like so. Then drag it along. And then pull the bottom edge. And go back on our top edge. Didn't have a piece of timber around long enough to do the gunnels, so we've scarfed a piece. And what's happened when we've scarfed it, we started out with e-glue and it wasn't quite right, so cut new scarves. And I used the Purbond and it seemed to hold okay, but as soon as we put it on maximum pressure, there must have been some gap in the joint and it opened up. So then we cut it back and we thought we had all the Purbond out of the joint. And we've used e-glue and we must have had contamination in there. We think it could have, see the blue? We think it could be from the hacksaw blade, and there's also yellow in there indicating we still had Purbond. And the Purbond, because it foams up, it creates a gap in your joint, and the epoxy must have been able to stick properly. So we're going to have to cut all this out now and start again and do a new joint. But see the blue in there? We think it's the paint from the hacksaw blade when we cut down the joint to clear the Purbond out. So trap for even Mose with experience. So hopefully we'll get him cleaned up. We'll have another go at that. Okay, our new canoe's coming along looking pretty good. Look at the flare in that gunnel. Put the bulkheads in. So we've got the end cap here, been cleaned up. Brian's been around and sanded him today. We've got the bulkheads in. They're glued on the reverse side. We've glued in the ends. So it's all looking pretty solid. We're just going to put an inwell in. We've had some fun here where we scarfed. So never put a scarf on highest pressure. We're going to put an inwell in to help keep it in, take some of the pressure off the gunnel. But she's looking pretty good. So our other bulkhead here. So what we'll do, we'll put a bung in one end and we'll fill one end with foam. And she's going to look pretty good when she's finished.